After a long weekend, going back to work seems inevitable for most capital employees. Nonetheless, the provincial governor's office had set up a pre-long weekend strategic planning to accomplish a smooth exit and re-entry for a brand new week. On June 16, 2020 was the 11th virtual flag raising ceremony at the provincial capital hosted by the Provincial Legal Office. During the activity, Dr. Jerry Kalingasan, being the chair of the Provincial Task Force for COVID-19, in his weekly update, confirmed the cases of coronavirus in Misamis Oriental who hail from the municipality of Libertad, while the other two from Hingoog City. Without delay, Dr. Kalingasan made it clear that those were not local transmission but an imported case, which means that the patients have acquired the virus overseas even before they arrived at the Laguindingan Airport and Makabalan Port. In fact, on the day of their arrival, they were immediately transported to the isolation facility without having physical contact with family and friends yet. Because of this, Governor GYVBE Emano, though saddened, yet remained firm that Misamis Oriental is still and will continue to be free from the wicked virus through the initiative and efforts of the Provincial Task Force and Dr. Jerry Kalingasan himself. Also on that same day, a total of 994,500 pesos financial assistance was turned over by the provincial government to all active and retired child development workers from the entire province of Misamis Oriental. The head of the Provincial Early Childhood Care and Development Office, Ms. Meriden Lilay Okot, received the check in a ceremonial turnover purposely to be distributed amongst 726 retired and active daycare teachers. The aid from Governor GYVBE Emano was to honor all CDWs working relentlessly even in this time of pandemic. Also on that day was the ceremonial turnover of personal protective equipment to the Bureau of Fire Protection Emergency Medical Service, Cagayan de Oro District. No less than the Fire Marshal Superintendent Alan Cabot personally received the donation of 30 sets of PPE and 3 containers of alcohol handed to him by Governor GYVBE Emano and Dr. Jerry Kalingasan. Cabot felt relieved and blissful, the fact that they badly need the PPE suits in transporting suspected COVID-19 patients to the Northern Mindanao Medical Center. Governor GYVBE Emano was moved upon knowing that these frontliners recycle their PPEs to protect themselves from the frightful COVID-19.
Unang-una nagpasalamat kay Gog dako kay nakita ni Gog no sa provincial government nga taliwala nining atong gi-experience karon nga crisis. Nakita niya ang kakulangon gyud sa protection sa ato ang personnel. Ang uban gali nato nga mga personnel ga recycle na lang katong pwede pa mapakinabangan para lang gyud nga maprotektahan ang ilang kuan kaugalingon. So dako kay nagtabang, dako kay Gog nagpasalamat no ni Gob no kay wala siya sawa nga pagtabang sa kuan BEP. Once again, salamat kayo sa suporta sa provincial government pinanguluhan ni Governor GYVBE.
Happening on that same day, Governor GYVBE Emano, through the efforts of Tourism Officer Attorney Jeffrey Saclot, handed over 25,000 pesos to the Make-up Artist Project from the LGBT community. As most people inevitably choose to cancel events, weddings, and productions due to COVID-19, these professionals are left to find creative ways to keep their heads above water, both emotionally and financially, as the industry has shut down completely. Thanks to the provincial government who extended financial help to the organization with 100 members from Misamis Oriental and Cagayan de Oro City. On Wednesday, June 17, 2020, in honor of Father's Day, the Misamis Oriental Provincial Youth and Development Office hosted a photo contest for dads entitled A Father's Day Special. PYDO head Aline Peñalosa said the digital social media contest aimed to endorse the greatness of their dad, where entrants can share a tale or a description about the greatness of their father. 5 winners are then randomly selected who will have the chance to get 500 pesos each. And from June 12 to 17, the Provincial Agriculture Office delivered chemicals for the control of army worms that have made initial damage to 85 corn farmers in areas of Sugbong Cogon, Claveria, Binuangan, Taguluan, Upol, and Alubihid. Ongoing assessment and validation in other areas are also conducted to ensure that the corn production in the province will not be affected. Meanwhile, continuous distribution of corn and vegetable seeds, organic fertilizers that benefited 61 farmers and 6 returning OFWs in Opol, Misamis Oriental was also held. And finally, Pagro procured 23,524 coconut planting materials and established cocoa seed nut nurseries in areas of Alubihid, Balingasag, Binuangan, and Taguluan. This project will benefit 1,000 coconut farmers that will rehabilitate the 30,000 hectares of coconut plantation in Misamis Oriental that needs replanting. This year, Pagro will initiate the rehabilitation of 10,000 hectares of coconut plantation with the aim of planting 1 million coconuts. At present, the seed nut nursery will have 100,000 seedlings for distribution this coming September to October 2020. On Thursday, June 18, 2020, the Provincial Assessor's Office is gradually adapting to the new normal in all transactions within Misamis Oriental. Due to COVID-19, issuances of tax declaration, certified true copies, historical ownership, and others are being submitted via email. The Assistant Provincial Assessor, Emmy Grace Mabelin, said this kind of practice results to a smooth and fast operation. As of Friday, June 19, 2020, the Provincial Public Employment Service Office have assisted a total of 463 returning Misamisnans via sweeper and commercial flights, while some 247 Misamisnans returned home via ferry boat. The data gathered from June 12 to 19 showed altogether 710 Misamisnans were facilitated by the Provincial Task Force for COVID-19 in collaboration with the staff of PESO, who tirelessly worked day and night round the clock, putting themselves at risk to fight the ravages of this pandemic. Ms. Zorobabel Wabirabe added the provincial government of Misamis Oriental has billeted 144 OFWs at Marian Suites, spending more or less 150,000 pesos already for their food and accommodation. Also on Friday afternoon, the Provincial Interagency Task Force meeting was held where members from the Misamis Oriental Department Heads Association or MODHA began to lay down its plans and programs to adopt measures for containment and mitigation of the spread of the virus in the province. Different committees shall be formed to formally handle delegated duties and authority in response to the pandemic. Governor Imano thought someone has to handle the Committee on Surveillance, Security, Sanitation and Disinfection, Quarantine and Isolation, Food, Documentation and Registration, Management of the Dead, Information and Risk Communication, Transportation and Mobilization, Recovery and Reconstruction, Finance, and Travel and Arrival. However, the Provincial Task Force Chair Dr. Jerry Kalingasan and Governor Bambe Emano as the co-chair is yet to announce very soon the most far-reaching measures to be imposed in the province once the guidelines are implemented. Happening on that same day was another round of clean-up drive and disinfection of all offices in the provincial capital compound. Every Friday, employees from different offices tidy their own workplace to ensure cleanliness and as a preventive measure to secure and protect their station from the possible entry of COVID-19. Earlier, Governor Emano and Dr. Kalingasan mandated all head of offices to implement disinfecting initiatives to safeguard their jurisdictions from the infectious virus haunting the country.
The leadership brand of Governor Bambe Emano treats everyone fairly and everyone is important. Services are delivered even to the farthest corners of the province. We are thankful for this brand of good leadership that has served as an inspiration for other public servants. Now, when we say government service, it is service that is seen, felt, and provides an inspiration for people to hope and dream for further success. Jinky Rosit, PIO.